Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today, joins me now from Washington. So, Susan, the president is calling James Comey a coward after Comey called him a liar. What's your takeaway from the last few days?
Well, it's been interesting to see the president back on Twitter this morning and back on the attack. You know, for 24 hours there, he stayed off of Twitter during James Comey's testimony, and he didn't, when he shouted questions from reporters that day, he didn't respond to them. But he is back now, making a big issue of the acknowledgement by James Comey that he was behind one of the key leaks in that in the story so far. That goes to the fact of the leaking. It doesn't go to the content of the leaks, which is something that I think we're going to be talking about for quite some time. It
was interesting, Susan. The president said he's willing to testify under oath. What are the chances you think that might happen?
Well, I think it's possible. I think it's not likely. I think would be quite unusual. Presidents have testified under oath in the past, but it's been quite exceptional. And I think it's also fair to say that the president's team was dismayed to hear him say, to make that 100% guarantee offer, that he was willing to testify under oath. I think that's one of those things we're just going to have to see in the weeks and months that this investigation continues to unfold.
And the president also claims that he's been totally vindicated by James Comey's testimony. Do you think that's how investigators see it?
No, I do think he's been vindicated on one point, which is that James Comey confirmed that on 3 different occasions he told the president that he was not personally under investigation in the Russia matter. So on that, the president was vindicated, and he had said that James Comey had told him that, and James Comey confirmed that. But the question of collusion does not go to the question of obstruction of justice. And you also don't know on any of these investigations where the investigation itself may lead in places that we don't know. That was one reason James Comey gave for not counseling the president that he shouldn't have an official announcement that he wasn't under investigation, because if that changed, if he became under investigation, they might have to make a public acknowledgement that it had changed.
Yeah. Well, meantime, Attorney General Jeff Sessions is expected to testify before the Senate Intel Committee on Tuesday. It's an open question on whether or not Sessions did in fact have a third meeting with the Russian ambassador. What can we expect from that testimony Tuesday?
Well, let's hope we can hear it. Senator Langford on Face the Nation just a few minutes ago said he assumes that testimony by Attorney General Sessions is going to be in a public hearing. We all hope that's the case. He's going to be asked about his own contacts with the Russians. He's now had to come back and revisit again and again cases in which he met with Russian officials during the campaign, but failed to acknowledge it during his confirmation hearings. Very enticing moment when James Comey in his testimony said there was some reason that he believed that Attorney General Sessions was going to have to recuse himself from the Russian investigation well before he actually did so. I think the senators will want to hear about that.
Well, could Sessions be in legal jeopardy if it's shown that he knowingly lied about his Russia contacts during his confirmation hearing?
Yes, it's possible. If he lied under oath, that would be a legal matter.
Now, where does this investigation go next, Susan? We know Jared Kushner has said that he's willing to testify. Is that something we might see soon?
I think that's something we will see, but I don't know if it'll be soon or not. You know, these investigations take a long time, and one thing that I know that investigators, both from Bob Mueller, who's doing, of course, the special counsel investigation, and even the special committees, the committees in Congress pursuing this, they want to do it step by step. That's one reason we haven't heard from Michael Flynn, who volunteered to testify, suggested he might want some deal for immunity. That's been put aside because it's just not that point in the investigation so far. So I think it's very likely we'll hear from Jared Kushner at some point, but I don't think you ought to hold your breath and think it's going to be in the next couple weeks.
All right, Susan Page in Washington for us. Susan, thanks for your insights.
Hey, thank you.